Good day. I'm Doug Van Wyk with FCS Life Express,
And I'm Trish Lawson.
and we just want to take a few minutes today and go over the Life Express program. We are your resource for life and disability coverages for your members, so we want to go over how to send us a good referral, the different products that we use with Life Express, and just tell you a little bit about the program. This is our team up here in St. Paul, Minnesota. We're up here by the AgriBank office. I think between the six of us, we have about 100 years of experience in the life and disability arena, so that's a good thing. We really enjoy working with Farm Credit. We love being your partner, and this is our 15th year now with FCS Life Express. Seems like it gets a little better every year. Briefly, Life Express is an easy way for you to help customers get solid life and disability insurance. At the end of the day, we want to protect our customers, and of course, we want to protect the association as well. I think you'll love Life Express and how easy and simple it is. In a nutshell, you're going to send us a referral, and we're going to take it from there. And we're here to enhance the relationships that you already have with your customers. We know that you're the most trusted resource for your members, and we just want to enhance that relationship that's already there. You can focus on your core business, which is lending, and we can be the insurance experts at Life Express. And the partnership has worked really well now for many years, and we're excited to share this information with you today. So why are we doing Life Express? What's the point here? What's in it for our customers is obviously we want to help them get good life and disability protection to cover themselves and their family and their operation. When we talk to a customer, we like to look at the big picture. So a lot of times we'll get a referral and they'll say, hey, Doug or Trish, talk to my guy. He just bought a piece of ground, borrowing $1 million to buy some land, and he really wants to look at life insurance in case he dies to pay off that loan, protect his family. We like to look at, okay, what about some estate planning needs? What do you have for current life insurance? Should we review that as well and make sure you're getting the best value for your money?
And the members appreciate that.
For sure. And we love being able to shop the market and look at 20 or 25 different companies and help our customers get the best value for their money. Like I say, we're able to shop some of the top companies in America, the top companies, and run comparison quotes and make sure we're getting them the best value for their insurance dollars.
The right product for the right person.
For sure. And of course, we're going to help them with buy-sell agreements or farm transition planning or estate planning. That's important too. And we'll talk more about that here in a few minutes. So the results for you, of course, it makes your life easier. The whole process is easier. You just send us a referral. You can have as little or as much involvement as you want to, and then we take it from there. We'll see it through to completion from sending out quotes, doing applications, and getting our customers approved. Another benefit for you is we're protecting the credit quality of the portfolio. If we have a customer that has life insurance and disability insurance, isn't that great to know that they've got peace of mind? The association has peace of mind knowing that if something happens to our customer, that loan is going to be paid off. Again, you can focus on your core business. We take care of the insurance needs. And again, we just want to enhance those relationships that are already there. And that's important too. So let's talk a little bit about how the process works, literally how you send us a referral. Do you want to talk about that, Trish?
Sure. You meet with your members all the time for reviews or when they have new needs and so forth. So you are able to identify someone who might have an interest or have a need for life insurance or some risk mitigation planning. Essentially, you will use one of the FCS Life Express handoff cards, introduction card. You'll explain to the member that FCS Life Express will be contacting them just to give them some information and so forth. After you hand them the card, you can send us an insurance referral request. And that usually can be accessed, or it can be accessed on your intranet site within your association. And that form that you fill out gives us the information we need to contact the member and proceed forward. After we contact them, the rest is really up to us. You've helped us greatly with that. We contact the customer, we provide the information they need, and then we see any process through to total completion. We are not salespeople, I guess, as you might think of that. We really just want to connect with a member, give them good information so they know that someone has really done something on their behalf. And then For your purposes, we send out a weekly report to your team, and it will outline the status of each of those referrals, so you can just see how things are progressing.
You can always call us directly if you have a question about a referral that you've sent. You can call us
Yes.
or email us, but that report does go out every Friday to your insurance director, and it's nice because it lets you know what's going on with that referral.
Exactly.
And what we'll do here in a minute is for your specific association, we're going to plug in some directions on how you exactly send us a referral from your particular website. To send us a referral, either go to the First Resource Group website or your particular internal website. Look for the link to the Life Express request form and go ahead and send that to us. And it'll come through on our email. Thanks.
It will take you to this form. And this form is our greatest tool. It's where you give us or send us a referral via email. The information on this form is important for us. So full name, address, preferred telephone number, and indicate to us if it's a cell number. That typically is the number we appreciate most.
Yeah.
When you're giving us the name, I've had many cases where it's just easier to reach a member if their name is Harland and they go by Bruce. It's really important for me to know that if I'm leaving them a message, they give it a bit more credibility. So
Yeah, nicknames are
any
important.
nickname is really important. There's a segment on this form that indicates if the client or the member has a preferred time that they're free and could talk and is the best time to call them. And there is also a spot for other comments. And we really like this section in case you have any insight for us as to anything specific the member might have inquired about, any thoughts you have about how to contact them, and perhaps they have already expressed a need for a particular amount. And so that's just the inside information that it's good for
Right.
us to have.
In addition, I would just add the additional comments. It's great to know if they farm with their brother.
Oh, yes.
It's great to know if they're doing some estate planning. Maybe they have a son that's coming into the farming operation. So if you know any of those details, it's so nice to know that when Trish and I call the customers, hey, I know you're looking at forming a partnership with your brother. So let's talk about life insurance to protect both of you. So yeah,
And-
that helps us a lot.
And something I see an awful lot is Bruce is very interested in the life insurance, but his wife takes care of everything.
Yes.
Please contact his wife, Deb, and then hopefully
Yes.
we'll have a cell number or a good number as well.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Helps us
It
a
is.
ton.
So when you hit the send button with all that information, and there is a spot at the bottom of the form for you to indicate loan numbers, member numbers, branch, and who the loan officer is and who the contact person is. And then hit the send button, and that form comes directly to us. You'll receive immediately a confirmation letter from us letting you know that we'll be attempting to contact that member within the next 24 to 48 hours. So we like to pride ourselves on getting right on that
Yeah.
task. So
Call them within 1 or 2 days and
Yes.
get that conversation started. Let's talk for a minute about the introduction card that we use. On your screen now, you're going to see an example of what you guys use at your association. Typically, it's a little 4x6 full color card. This was your idea. I think several years ago, one of our associations decided, hey, let's have instead of using a business card, which let's be honest, gets thrown away sometime, let's have a nice little handoff card with our team, our picture up here in St. Paul. You know, this is Trish. She's the gal that's going to be giving you a call. Hopefully they take this, bring it home, put it on the fridge with a magnet, and we'll be calling them within a day or two. So we really want to encourage you to use the handoff card. It's a great little introduction. On the back there, it gives you an example of how much life insurance might be appropriate for in a certain situation. But our name and phone number is on there. But we want to encourage you to use this card because it's been very effective for us over the years. This slide shows you kind of an overview of the Life Express process and what it looks like. You do everything in the green, identify opportunities, do that request form, and then use that referral handoff card and send us the referral. We do everything in the gold. as far as sending out quotes, getting people approved through underwriting, sending out those reports.
Just managing those cases all the way through to the completion. And we stay in contact with the member the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about what we expect out of you. And that's really the simple part, is to identify the opportunity and then send us that referral. I think you know when it's appropriate to talk about life insurance or Life Express. Whether you're sitting down with a customer doing a new loan, renewing an operating note, getting married, having a baby. There's all these different situations where you talk about life insurance. And again, I think you know when it's the right time to talk to your customer. These are just some examples of the best referrals that we get, maybe for key person coverage. We get a lot of partnerships, father and son or brothers who farm together. So those are all great opportunities to talk about life insurance.
I also do a fair amount with the farm transition planning. Mom and Dad have spent many years building a wonderful business. The kids are coming into the business, perhaps not all. And so we take a look at some planning for equalization among all the children when the mom and dad are through with the farming day to day. Very important coverage.
Yeah, estate planning is huge. I think over the next 10 years, there's going to be a couple $1 trillion worth of wealth, including farmland, that's going to get passed down to the next generation.
Yes.
And life insurance is a really big part of that. We see that quite a bit, so we'd love to help with those situations too.
I'd just like to interject one thing, Doug, relative to identifying an opportunity. When I contact a member, I like to position it and mention that the person referring them to us thought they might have an interest in getting some information. So that can really open up a lot of topics for us to discuss as we chat with them.
And I think it's important for you to know that we're not going to pester anybody. We're here to be a resource, to provide information, good information. That's why we love being able to shop the market and find the best rates.
And we get wonderful feedback from the members on that. They say, boy, we felt no pressure. We just got good information. So
Yep.
that's our goal.
Yes, for sure. I think it's important that you know that as well. I think we can help you with the referral and what it sounds like, what a good referral sounds like. After you've met with a customer, maybe you're on a farm call or sitting there doing a new loan, hey, I'm going to have our Life Express rep, Doug or Trish, give you a call. They're a specialist and we'll compare all the companies to find you the best value. When's a good time for them to give you a call? I think you make it pretty low key, remind them that we're not low pressure. I'd say we're no pressure. We really just want to provide good information. And if they want to sign up for life insurance, that's great. We'll do our best to help them with that.
And many people just haven't really thought about it in tandem with, any kind of debt or what have you. So just to ask a question like, when was the last time you reviewed your life insurance coverage? Very easy to ask, and people then start to think about it a bit. Would you like your loan paid off if something happened to you? Have you made a provision for that? Another really easy question to ask. Just, do you want some peace of mind knowing that your loan or your debt's protected if something should happen to you? Just a few of those general types of questions can often start someone thinking, and then they indicate couldn't hurt to get some good information.
Yeah, absolutely. So just pick one of those questions that you like, or again, you know your customers better than we do. You know how to talk to them and what's appropriate. But I do like that first one the best. When's the last time you reviewed your life insurance? That's a great open-ended question. A lot of times you'll hear, well, I bought a policy with State Farm 20 years ago and I threw it in a drawer and really haven't looked at it since. I think I hear that quite a bit, and we do. It's great to review it. We think you should review your life insurance every 3 or 4 years. Make sure you're getting the best value. So let's talk about what happens next. You've given us a referral, you've given the customer the handoff card, and that's where our team kind of takes over. We're going to give the customer a phone call. If you tell us if they prefer us to email them, that's fine too, but most of the time we're just going to give them a call. We're going to drop your name, first of all, within the first few seconds. Hey, your loan officer, your name, asked me to give you a call and talk about life insurance and follow up. Just have a conversation with them. Ask them what they're trying to accomplish. Ask them health questions. And then, of course, typically we mail or email out life insurance quotes to them. If for some reason we cannot connect with the customer after 3 or 4 phone calls, we're going to circle back to you and we're going to ask you for help. So if you could reach out for us just to see if they're interested, maybe they lost interest, Maybe they're just super busy and we couldn't catch them, especially during planting and harvest. That's kind of a challenging time. But again, if we can't connect with them, we'll circle back to you for advice on how to proceed.
And one other quick note on that. We are calling from a 651 area code. And with the preponderance of marketing calls going out to people these days, it's disconcerting to look down on your phone and see an area code you don't recognize. It's so helpful to us, if you think of it, to mention to your client that we'll be contacting them from a 651 area code. But we do want you to know that we will always leave a message.
Yeah.
We will never call and hang up.
Yes.
We will always leave you leave
Right.
the member a message, and we typically mention that we are calling from a 651 area code, and I typically give the time and the date so that they can look at that phone and say, oh, that's who that was.
For sure. Great advice. Yes, if you could tell them we're calling from St. Paul with a 651 area code, that would help us a ton. This is a kind of a quick example of what the quotes look like if we email them out or we mail them out. Just a chart. Typically a customer will say, hey, can you send me quotes for various amounts? We like to do that so they can compare. As you see the difference in this example between $500,000 and $1 million, the cost per thousand is quite a bit cheaper. A lot of times we'll have people that are shopping for a smaller amount. They end up buying the larger amount, not because we're pushing them, just because it's a better value for their money.
Value. Again,
Again, it's great that we can show them 10, 15, 20, and 30-year term. Most of what we do is just inexpensive term life insurance. Of course, we do
guaranteed permanent lifetime
permanent life insurance as well. We'll talk in a minute about return of premium. That's where you get your money back if you don't die. It's a great product for the younger crowd. But this is just an example of what they would look like. We're also going to copy you on the email. If we do email quotes to customers, we're going to copy you on that email so you know we're doing our job. Once we send out those quotes, if the customer wants to proceed with an application, we can send that via email, fax, or online. We'll manage the approval process throughout, get that policy delivered to the customer. We'll keep you in the loop every week with that weekly update. Again, if you ever have questions, you can circle back to me or Trish or Jennifer, our office manager, if you want to know the status of a referral or status of, hey, are these folks approved yet or not?
We do have real-time status available to us. Update our data gathering systems many, many times every day.
Right.
So, as Doug mentioned a bit earlier, once we receive your referral, we will contact the customer member right away, usually at least 4 times. I'm guilty of trying a bit more often when I know it's a busy season for the members. If they're planting or harvesting or so on and so forth, I cut them a lot of slack, and usually I'm 4 to 6 times, and that's been very successful, and they appreciate the fact that I'm checking in with them again. If we are completely unable to connect with anybody, it could be because they've changed their mind, don't have any interest or whatever. I typically, and I know Doug as well, we follow up with the contact person or whoever made the referral. We get a little bit of direction advice, and they might say, gosh, their wife was sick, so I know they've been real busy of late. They indicated a lot of interest, so please try them again a few times. And then typically a referring person or the loan officer will say, when I see them, I'll mention it. And if it makes any sense at all, we'll calculate a few numbers for them and send the customer a follow-up letter just to give an example of cost for some minimal amount of coverage. And I know they appreciate it, and we do get calls back from those letters. So
we do. This is what that letter might look like. If we're not able to reach them, we'll just send them out some sample quotes. It's hard to know exactly when we haven't had a chance to talk with them and get their build and some health questions, but at least they'll have a rough idea what the life insurance would cost, and that might trigger some interest there.
And we mention in the letter who the referrer was from their branch so that there's a bit of familiarity. And of course, we have the BioStar logo on there, which should make sense.
You bet. Let's just talk for a minute about the different products that we offer.
Sure.
Again, what I said a minute ago, probably 80% of what we do is just term life insurance. For most of our customers, most of the time it's appropriate to have some term life to cover debt. It is the most inexpensive type of life insurance. We always talk about covering debt and replacing income. If something happens to you, just say you're a 40-year-old man with a family, and something happens to you, you want to make sure your loan is paid off, or at least the majority of your debt is paid off, and replace your income for a few years. People don't think about that a lot. Quick example, a 34-year-old young man who's healthy can get a 30-year guaranteed term for about $41 a month. Life insurance is a pretty good value for the money.
Oh, it is.
If you compare prices from 20 years ago, I think costs have come down about 50%, they said, from 20 years ago.
And one of the very fine features about the many, many competitive and financially strong companies that we look at, the premiums are guaranteed to stay the same throughout whatever term duration a member might choose. You might be familiar to some degree with the fact that Farm Credits have offered Minnesota Life Credit Life for many years. One of the characteristics of that coverage that people really don't tune into, but it is real, the premium increases every single year, and it becomes a steeper increase the older you get. So that's one reason why the newer, much more valuable term plans are what's a better fit for Farm Credit.
For sure. We don't even offer that decreasing term or that credit life policy anymore, so it's just not the greatest value. In this example, you can take it a step further and do that return of premium. It really is just what it sounds like. If you don't die, if you don't need this life insurance, after 20 or 30 years, you get all of your money back tax-free. I have this plan myself. I bought it 15 years ago when I was younger. It's a great value. I quote it for everybody who's under 40, under age 40. I think it's a pretty good value. It costs about double, so that the premium went from $41 a month to $81 a month. But then again, it's kind of like a little savings account, and they get their money back, in this example, about $30,000 at age 64.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a good plan for certain situations.
Then we have the guaranteed permanent lifetime coverage. We can guarantee this particular plan for life. A number of the companies offer them. We have a choice of guaranteeing the plan to, for example, age 95, 100, 105, all the way up to 120. And there is some potential for minimal amounts of cash to build up, but the goal of this policy is geared toward making sure a member would have coverage for life with a premium at the outset that would not change throughout. Now, one little added feature, newer in the last few years, a few of these companies who offer this type of guaranteed permanent coverage have come up with a return of premium option. And at years 20, 25, even some of them 15, you can get up to 100% of your premium returned if you decide you no longer need the policy. That's a wonderful feature in addition to what we offer.
That really is nice. It's a great option. It's almost like if you have buyer's remorse 15 years after you bought the policy, you can get your money back.
Everything went fine and you won the lottery and you just don't need that anymore.
Yeah, it's a great feature.
Great feature.
You bet. Let's talk about survivorship life briefly. This is kind of a specialized policy we use for estate planning. Situation where, we'll just take a look at the example here. We got a 66-year-old couple and their attorney says, hey, you need $2 million of life insurance. When you're both gone, your son is going to inherit the farm and we want to give $2 million to your daughter who's not on the farm. This is a pretty typical situation for us. So survivorship universal life, people call it second to die, would be where when the first mom or dad passes away, nothing happens. When the second person dies, then the $2 million is paid out to the daughter. So we call that a second to die or survivorship plan.
And one policy covers 2 lives, and it's significantly less expensive than if you tried to do an individual policy, let's say on mom, and an individual policy on dad. Much less expensive. Really a great tool for transitioning.
Yep, a wonderful tool. A lot of CPAs and attorneys will recommend this type of policy to their customers who are doing estate planning. So that's just kind of a general high-level view of what a second-to-die policy is. But we can certainly help our customers with those types of plans.
And we are able to work with accountants and attorneys if the members are working with someone at the time, they have interest in coverage. In fact, I'm working with someone right now on a case for a couple. So
yeah. And I think you'll see over the next couple, 3 or 5 or 10 years, there's going to be a huge need for estate planning help. People just want good advice. They want good counsel, and we can help them with the life insurance piece of it. I always tell our customers, find a good attorney, a good CPA that you like and trust, and then let us help with the life insurance piece of it. So keep that in mind. One thing that we also do is is policy reviews. And Trish, can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. As I mentioned earlier, associations nationwide have traditionally, for many years, offered policies that were designed specifically for farm credit associations by the insurance company Minnesota Life, which also goes by the name Securian Life. You might be familiar with that. They're doing a lot of advertising these days. But it was wonderful that they designed policies specifically for farm credit members. These particular policies were known as Credit Life. They were group plans, short-term, long-term, and then they had a group of policies known as Premier policies, which a member could actually keep for a lifetime if you could afford those premiums. They no longer offer that product to farm credit associations. There are many of those policies out there. About a year ago, the premiums took an unprecedented 50% increase. And so they reserve the right to be able to do that whenever they want. And it's a good thing they do, because that's what keeps everything stable and financially strong. But it has really come as a blow to many members who just aren't able to afford those premiums anymore. So we've been, for many of the associations, doing a review, contacting all the members who have these sorts of policies, and we've been offering to take a look for them to see if we had something better. And I would say 80% of the time we do, so they're very grateful for that. So you might hear that we're doing some of that kind of review for members you might be working with either now or in the future.
Yeah, if you have a customer that has an old Minnesota Life, Credit Life policy, or a Premier plan, definitely send us a referral. We really would love to talk to those folks. Like Trish said, 8 out of 10 times we can find them a better plan, a better value for their money. So we really want to get those folks switched over, so send us those referrals. Here's a quick example of something that Trish and I see every day. A 48-year-old customer of ours that has a Credit Life policy with Minnesota Life that he bought maybe 20 years ago. A lot of our customers have 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 Credit Life policies they've bought over the years. Little policies for $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000.
Maybe with each new line of credit or each new little loan, they've just done a new policy.
Yeah, bought a piece of equipment or whatever. This gentleman, Jerry, was paying $1,255 a year for $161,000 of life insurance. Unfortunately, those rates go up every single year. Not a great value anymore. 20 years ago it was a great value, but now it's kind of run its course. We helped him get a 30-year guaranteed policy for $200,000 for literally half the price with a 30-year rate guarantee.
Not unusual and so satisfying.
Right. I mean, it's basically a no-brainer. And yeah, we see these types of things every day. So again, please send us those referrals with those old Minnesota Life plans, and we will help them out and do our best.
And so just to finish up on the kind of work we do with a member regarding review of this Minnesota Life policy, this is a chart, not unlike the chart we normally send out or email out to members. This one will show some current pricing if they were interested in looking at something to replace the Minnesota Life. And then either in a letter, in an email, or right on the chart, we indicate what they're currently paying and indicate, as a reminder, the premium's going to keep rising every year. We just want to make sure they have all the information on one sheet and can make a good decision.
You bet. You bet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like those reviews. We love when we get those referrals because it's great to be able to help a customer get a better value. They say, hey, maybe I should have done this a couple of years ago, but we see a lot of these Minnesota Life policies that come in and we end up replacing them. Yeah. So let's talk just for a minute about disability coverage. We have the perfect disability program for our members. Typically, this is kind of geared towards the full-time farmer and rancher. We can insure someone who works in town and farms on the side. That's fine too. But the program is kind of geared towards the full-time farmer. We can actually get them up to $5,000 a month without looking at their tax returns. So wouldn't it be great if our customer is hurt or sick or injured, they don't have employee benefits like we do. They're on their own. So wouldn't it be nice to have some money coming in to help make their loan payment and buy some groceries until they're back on their feet? The $5,000 per month that we can do is based on their herd size or the number of acres that they farm. They have to have at least 75 head of livestock or run at least 500 acres of cash crops to qualify. We have negotiated a 5% discount for all farm credit members, so that's nice. But I would just encourage you, ask your customer about disability coverage. Most of our customers don't have it. They need it.
And you do have to health qualify to some degree for it.
For
So,
sure, for sure.
nothing terribly prohibitive.
Right. Similar to life insurance is the underwriting, but anybody under age 60 would qualify. I think our target market is probably between age 25 to 45 for the
I would think.
disability. The younger crowd. Of course, they think they're never going to get injured or sick and never be disabled.
But their wives do.
Right, true. But it does happen. So ask your customer if they have it. If they don't, we'd be happy to provide information for them. A quick comparison, the quote unquote, the old Minnesota Life Plan, to put it bluntly, wasn't very good, or it's not very good disability coverage. It's pretty limited. You can only do a 90-day waiting period. The most you can get, frankly, is $833 per month. Whereas with our new plan, we can actually get our customer up to $10,000 per month in coverage. There's some pretty major differences. The Minnesota Life is more like a disability insurance rider that was tacked on to a life insurance policy, whereas our program is a standalone disability plan that can actually replace your income if you're sick or hurt. And our plan will pay up to age 65 if the customer wants that. The biggest feature that I like about our disability plan is that return of premium. I have it on my plan. If you don't need disability coverage or you never use it, that would be a good thing. You get all your money back at age 65. So again, it costs more. It costs about double. But if we add that return of premium rider, I think it's a great value for someone who wants to look at disability coverage. So we just want to encourage you, just ask your customer about disability, and we'd be happy to provide that information.
I just want to mention one final thing, Doug. We've gone through a lot of stuff with you. I would say the most important of it being how to ask that question of a member as to whether they have any interest in getting any life insurance information, then filling out that referral form, giving us as much information as is possible, and then just really knowing that we'll follow through and take good care of them. But if you have any questions ever, feel free to just dial up our number. We are more than happy to refresh you on anything, give you some encouragement, and just make the whole process easy for you and therefore a great outcome for your member.
You bet. I think you'll love how easy and simple Life Express is. Send us the referral. We'll take it from there. You've got a team of experts at your service with 100 years of experience, and again, our 15th year with Farm Credit. It's going really well. So we appreciate your business and looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you.